Okay, welcome everyone. Tonight's Cogno Hour is Shift the Winter Blues. I'm always glad you're here because, especially this time of year, it's not easy for most people, even though it seems like it should be with all the lights and the holidays and all of that stuff. But did you know that roughly 1 in 5 people experience noticeable dips in mood, energy, and motivation during the fall and winter months? And for millions more, it's not just mood, it's stress and sleep issues and emotional overwhelm or that strange fog where everything feels heavier. That's There's real science behind it. Shorter days mean less sunlight, which shifts the body's serotonin and melatonin levels. That alone can affect how we feel, how we think, and how we connect to others. Add in the holidays, family dynamics, loneliness, old memories, finances, and the pressure piles up fast. Liz and I know this season can hold both beauty and pain. A few years ago, during the same time of year, we lost 2 people we loved deeply. It was already a hard season, and that loss could have turned this whole time into something we dreaded every year. But through Cognomovement, we were able to move through the grief instead of being trapped in it. We learned to hold remembrance and joy at the same time, to actually feel peace again during the holidays and have a good time. That's why this work means so much to us and why tonight's session matters. They all do. Because what you're going to experience isn't just about thinking positive or pushing through. It's about giving your body and nervous system a way to shift out of that heavy reactive state so you can feel balanced again. And so before we begin, I want to share something special that starts next week because tonight is just the start of a bigger journey. On November 20th, we're beginning the seasonal reset series. This is a 3-part cognitive movement experience designed to help your body, mind, and emotions reset before the new year and during this whole season. It's for those who are ready to feel lighter, more centered, and less overwhelmed during the season. So we've set aside a limited number of 20% off spots just for those who are here tonight using the code Feel Better. I'll put it in the comments. It's active for 48 hours only. It's our way of saying thank you for showing up live and choosing to take care of yourself right now. So, all right, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's get into it. Bill, take it away, and
Okay.
we'll be there in just a minute.
All right. Well, the first thing I wanted to just bring out is kind of some awareness around the holidays and what it means to people. A, a lot of people experience holiday pressures. You know, it creates a financial demand. There's a lot of expectations of getting somebody a gift that they're going to really like, and that along with the travel to see family and actually seeing family. I think there was some amazing statistics out there about how many people get into a fight at Thanksgiving. It's like it's some sort of, I thought I saw this study. I think it was something like, what, 40% of family members end up getting into a fight during Thanksgiving. I'm sure it's probably got to be around the same at Christmas, but this type of thing can be like, why do I want to go? There's so many people that I know that end up taking their annual Thanksgiving trip to, they'll go to an island somewhere, or they're going to go camping, or it's somewhere not around family. They're doing their own thing. And this is one of those ways to handle this type of triggering and stress. It seems as if a lot of people are not only have a buildup, the memory of Uncle Joe being Uncle Joe, and not only that, but there's nobody who can trigger you like family. I think the old saying, if you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it really isn't just a psychological thing. This really affects the physical body. The body remembers the dynamics that happened last year and the year before. And even just what you overheard your parents talking about, like fighting with family, or it may be for some people that they don't have anywhere to go. There's no Christmas celebration, there's no Thanksgiving celebration. Or if you're like our family, we didn't celebrate the holidays. So that was a whole different kind of weird depression that happened every year. So, but it's the amygdala that fires, it's that limbic system at the back of the brain that creates a cortisol spike. And the nervous system starts to prepare for fight or flight. And for most people, it happens right about the end of September, middle of October, where those are coming. So the body's already preparing for what's going to happen next because it's happened all the years before. So there's this real physical discomfort that starts to build as well. And then cortisol, which, can even spike histamine. Did you guys know this? That when your cortisol level spikes, it can also spike histamine. So you can end up with weird rashes and runny noses and what feels like a cold as well. So it really isn't just that, we make jokes about it. It's a real physical situation. And let's go back for a second to the shorter days that happened. I'm not sure if Bill, I wasn't on camera for a second. Bill was talking about that, but the shorter days equals less sunlight. Less sunlight in the eyes reduces our serotonin levels. So there's another physical, hormonal aspect that happens. So it's the feel good transmitter, right? But at the same time, the longer dark hours increase our melatonin hormone, the sleep hormone. So we're already feeling more sluggish. It's like the body wants to hibernate. And so you go into less movement usually. In the summer, we're like, woohoo, look what I can do, right? Running around here, hiking there, going to coffee out, coffee shop, sitting out, getting the vitamin D, getting the sun in. And then we'll move into the fall and winter, and we just can't maintain it. We end up with low motivation, fatigue, and guess what else? Sugar cravings. Sugar cravings and mood dips. It's the last thing we need, right, Bill's sugar cravings as we move into the holidays.
Yeah, it's you know, uh, I personally love sugar, all sugar things. But one of the things we know about sugar is that it creates irritation in your brain. It seems like, wait a second. No, it shouldn't, but it does. So it's an unfortunate fact. Is limiting limiting that would be better for our overall well-being.
Yeah, if you're already relating to this, put it in the chat. We'd love to hear some of the things that really get to you as the light gets low and as we move into holiday season. So, if you combine less physical activity, less light that comes into your eyes and on your skin and creates feel good hormones with less physical activity, heavier foods, more time indoors, the all of your hormones that make you want to get up and go, that create the fire, dramatically drop. It just dramatically drops. Plus, in a lot of places in the northern hemisphere, it's damp. The body starts to get damp as well. Another reason why metabolism slows and you feel like you're going into hibernation is this dampening down of our fire, really. So that's, and you think that's an interesting aspect as well?
I think it's really interesting. There's so many things that are all, it's not like they're in isolation, they're all intertwined. You know, I think it was kind of an amazing interview that we did a while back with the guy from the Amen Clinic, Dr. Stephen Storage, and he said there's a few things that exacerbate ADHD. And the one of the number one and number two thing, one of them was gluten and the other one was sugar.
Yeah.
So it's a very real thing that as we're here coming into winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, some of you I'm sure are coming in from Australia. Luckies.
Yeah, they're moving into the summertime for
Yeah.
sure. Well, it's an interesting thing. The sugar and more gluten, which are things that we eat, at holiday times. And it's not just at Thanksgiving. I mean, let's be honest. November hits, we know Thanksgiving is coming. And so there's more bread, more sugar, more coffee, more alcohol, all of which create some extra inflammation in the body as well. Creates, craving on top of it. Once you're eating it, it creates a little more craving, a little more inflammation. And then your body wants to cool that down, that inflammation, by doing more of it, right? So we head in to this time of year, and those of us who are trying to eat clean or be on a diet, maintain weight, you just cannot get out ahead of yourself. It feels like you're constantly falling. Well, these are some of the reasons. And in the summertime, a lot of times you can eat those sorts of things and be fine because the body has enough fire, like it really has the ability to burn that off, but you can't do the same thing in the winter. And you can see it's these combination of hormones and chemicals. So another thing is loneliness and isolation is huge during the holidays. And what's interesting about this is even if you have family, even if you're going to a big holiday celebration, people can feel very isolated amongst that family, especially if you're feeling like you don't fit in or you have problems with the family or the black sheep out of the family. So what's interesting about this as well is it starts long ahead of the event because our body remembers that it's going to happen and really starts to go into that fight or flight. So the part of the body that's affected by this is low dopamine and low oxytocin, the bonding chemicals. So it can really, really make it harder even to connect. So it's the same region of the brain as physical pain. Did you know this? Loneliness is exactly the same region as physical pain. So it's not just in your head. And so those lower dopamine and oxytocin levels, when you get there and the people are there, can still create a lonely feeling, which then adds to wanting to eat and drink and sleep and maybe even other things. Gambling also really kicks up during this season as well, including overspending, racking up credit card debt. Some of those things that are craving based that also ruin the rest of our year really kick up around this time of year for all of these same reasons, because the dopamine will get kicked up if you be brought back up if you indulge in some of these things, but only for a microsecond. So that creates a lot of problem year round, don't you think, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, you made a really good point that it's, you can create yourself a real problem, racking up the bills and that sort of thing as you're, I want to get away, so I'm going to book the ticket to Hawaii and spend a bunch of money that I don't have to
Yeah.
get away,
Yeah.
or try to buy my way into happiness in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and then you're kicking yourself later, like, how did I do this? But what I want you guys to know is if any of this is sounding familiar to you, it really isn't your fault at all. It's kind of a natural way that the body moves into this hibernation time. But now we've got all of this distraction, all of these different rituals that we're supposed to do. There's so much happening. It's so easy to buy everything online and put it on your credit card, right? But it's these hormones that actually trigger our behavior. And also what the nervous system has already experienced, in the previous years and previous family and all that sort of stuff. It's already there. And it just is awakened, like the demon is awakened at this time of year. Another thing is that reflection on unmet goals. Most people don't think about this. I said it to Bill today. And at first he was like, what? At the end of the year, we reflect on what we did not get done. Am I right? Tell me if I'm right in the chat. We do, because the first of the year, we're going to get all these things done. We're going to get the book done. We're going to lose 150 pounds. We're going to, make $1 million. And then we get to this, October, November, December, and we realize we didn't get it done. Right?
Yeah.
We didn't get it done. And then what happens, Bill?
Well,
yeah.
This cycle, I think, we've all been through it, but there's certain parts of your brain that get really active during this negative cycle. So this reticular activating system back here at the brainstem gets real active, and there's a way that we supercharge it. And that way that we supercharge it beyond just reflection of unmet goals and that sort of thing is the phone. And what are we doing? We're looking down. When you're shopping on Amazon, what are you doing? Or, I'm like, yeah, oh, definitely, I need that, And your eyes are down. When your eyes are down, it shuts off the oxytocin. Oxytocin is when you look in somebody's eyes, and that's the connection molecule. And when you're looking down, it's like the off switch for it. Plus, it's also the eye position of sadness and being disconnected. Every child knows this. If you walk into a room and you're looking down and how's that person feeling? Oh, they must be sad. Well, of course, because it's actually physical. So this is something that not a lot of people know about, but the advent of the iPhone, the smartphone, and the diagnoses of depression and anxiety went right together. We have the data from the WHO and the CDC that show this. It's a perfect marriage. So it's not a coincidence and today with our technology combined with just the natural cycle that, so many of us go through in winter, it's really exasperated.
It really is. And then there's something that's really important about this as well. You go into like a negative feedback loop, right? I didn't get it done. I didn't achieve the thing. I didn't do what everybody on the internet has done. And it gets this negative feedback loop going that does what? Increases our cortisol level. And the cortisol level really tells that reticular activating system in the back of the brain, shut down. Let's let in less information, only what it requires for us to get out of the way of the lion that is chasing us. And the lion right now is maybe all of our goals, maybe unrealistic goals, maybe other people's goals, maybe your boss's goals, maybe your parents' goals, maybe your spouse's goals, right? But what it does is then prevents the good information getting to the prefrontal cortex to be considered. Like all the great stuff that you did create throughout the year, all the wonderful people that you helped, or, the accomplishments that you did make, they don't get here. They don't get any consideration because this other part of your brain has taken over and put you into fight or flight. And like we said before, there's all these hormones and less light and less activity and more food that adds to it. But basically, it leads to a form of like almost paralyzation. I can't do anything about it, right? You have all the tools you have the rest of the year, but you just can't seem to use them. So less activity too, this time of year is a big deal and creates energy drain. Well, in the summer, we counteract all this stuff by going outside, taking a walk, going to the river, going out and eating outside at a restaurant. That increase our endorphins and our dopamine levels, right? So normally we have that extra light and energy that helps us go. But when the light starts to dim and all this other stuff piles on, we just don't have that. So we lose our energy and our motivation. But isn't it nice to know why? That we kind of just at the end of the year, there's real reasons and there's ways to counteract it. So we are going to do a Cogno session that is going to help reignite the fire and keep it going. There's a way to counteract all of this. We know that we can change our hormones. We know that we can change the way our brain is taking in information and reacting. It's that reaction part that is the major problem throughout the winter season. We just do all kind of stuff we don't really want to do, and we don't do the stuff we want to do. So, of course, we're talking about Cognomovement, and it adds the missing stimulation to the brain. It brings back the endorphins. It recharges the pathways that we would have needed for light to cultivate, but we can cultivate it by moving information in the brain and in the body. But it's also a way to discharge the negative load that's happening too, right, Bill?
So, for many of us, this has tentacles in the different aspects, or what we consider the cause. Some of us it's light, and some of us it was family conflict, how I feel about myself, you name it. But what specifically the aspect of Cognomovement, and Cognomovement does many, many things, but the particular aspect that we're talking about is your reactions. Whatever you're feeling, being able to process that. Cognomovement is very interesting because it utilizes your full nervous system to create change. Not only does it use your spine, but it uses your eyes to help create change in how you feel permanently. So with this, you're going to be able to find where is the glitch? Where's the glitch for me in my winter that's causing this? So you'll be able to not only find it, but to exercise it. Today in the exercise, you're going to get just a little bit of taste of this for free.
Really, I think that the important part is that you become really aware of how you're feeling. Most of the time, this creeps us up on us, and we don't really realize there's anything you can do about it. You don't really realize that it's you. It's not just the outside that's changing. It's not all the people who are cranky and shopping and all of that, right? It gives you the awareness. So being aware of how your body is feeling, how that feeling in the body is driving your thoughts. That's the real gift in it, I think. So also, once you know that, you can do a few minute session and get the ghosts of the past, the holiday ghosts of the past, put back where they belong, which is in the past. The nervous system is a great time traveler. It's always going to project what we experienced before into our future. But once you know about this, once you know what the hormones and the brain chemicals are doing to you, and you have a way to quell those and bring up the hormones and the endorphins, everything that you need to shift back into full present mode, then the season actually becomes relatively easy. In fact, some people really just soar during this time when they know how to shift out of that, basically a form of hibernation mode. So let's get to our session. You guys ready? We're going to bring up the fire because that's the thing. It's wet. Like in Chinese medicine, you've got yin and yang, and one is more fire and one is more damp. And we're moving into that damp season. So we need to bring the fire. We need to open up those neural pathways that can receive the light. We're still getting light, it's indoors, but we need to get it into our eyes, open the neural pathways that'll shut down fight or flight, and open up the neural pathways that give us our ideas and creativity back again. So that is the session we are going to do today. So I think Leah has a quick message for you, and then we will get started.
All right. So just a really quick message before we start the mini session. During the seasonal reset series that's coming up on November 20th, we're giving your nervous system the space and the direction to release the weight you've been carrying. So you can move into the holidays feeling grounded and peaceful and joyful and just without all the pressure. We'll be diving into 3 live sessions covering stress regulation, emotional balance, relationship triggers, and preparing your energy for the new year. So remember that the 20% off code is Feel Better. It's only available for 48 hours, and we've reserved a limited number of uses for those who are here live tonight. So if you already know you want to keep this feeling going, jump in before those spots are gone. All right. Back to Liz and Bill.
Okay, I'm up first, but hey, I want you guys to know, did you know that we are under a massive geomagnetic storm tonight? There is a possibility of what's called a G5 magnetic storm. It's at the top of the magnetic storm levels. Yesterday, there was a G4. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots of extra energy in the air. And I've been hearing reports out and about that people are feeling cranky, that it's making people feel just a little bit irritated. So if that is you, use that in your session tonight. It will help you clear that out and help you start to feel a little bit more like yourself and not so tense. So it's not necessarily bad. It just is more electricity, more energy. It's like plugging yourself into a socket. You know, you expect your hair to start going out. All right, so let's start our session. If you have your Cogno ball, grab it. If you don't, I'm going to have you grab a pen or just something that you can move. I have my little alien here. You could use something like that. All right, what we are going to do is use Cognomovement to open up our neural pathways, and we're adding on a layer of breath that is going to be that piece that brings up the fire. So this session is different. If you've done sessions with us before, this is going to feel a little aggressive. But there's a method to our madness, and that is to get the body dried out a bit, to get the body's fire moving again. So the first thing that we are going to do is just a quick warm up, and we're just going to do our left and right. But it's going to look like this: a big deep breath in with a really aggressive breath out. Like push that out. Use your diaphragm. Ready? Ready? Move up a little bit. Good job. One more. Good job. One more. We're moving up the body. Up one more. Now push that ball way up, big deep breath, and bring it on down. Just let yourself relax. And let your head rest and your eyes rest. Take this time to just pause a sec and feel what that feels like already. Just notice if there's a little tingle, if you got a little warm. All right, ready? And then we're just going to move it left and right normally and breathe normally. We want to get that information moving left and right across that corpus callosum, shifting hemispheres, stretching our eyes just a little to get more surface area of the brain. So I know you can't see my ball, but it's all the way up over the head. And then just bring it gently down to your right side and let your eyes stretch. Let your eyes stretch. Really let them stretch because we want more surface area of the brain. We want to dig in and counteract that eyes down phone movement. Breathe. All right, bring it down. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually isolate hemispheres and really force oxygen into the brain. So I'm going to start with my ball in my left hand. And what you're going to do is actually close your left nostril. So it looks like this. Big deep breath in, out through the mouth. Ready? Hold it, out through the mouth. Now some of you are already getting warm. Ready? Big deep breath. Hold it, out through the mouth. Hold it. Great job. All right, just take a little rest. For some, you're going to feel a little lightheaded because you're like, whoa, that is a lot of air. And your brain's just not used to it. So let yourself rest. Now, here's the thing. During this time of year, it's important not to go full bore. It's important to recognize that the body does want to move into a natural rest state. So give yourself the little rests in between, just a little longer than you normally would. Just rest. You may even notice that your body starts to go into a little bit of almost the edge of sleep. That's when you bring yourself back. All right, let's move the ball onto the right side. And you're going to close the right nostril. Ready? Sharp breath in through the nose. Hold it, and let it out through the mouth. Ready? Sharp breath in through the nose. Hold it, and let it out through the mouth. It looks like I have a wild beast attacking. All right, down on. Ready? Big deep breath. And down. So if you're like me, that gets things really going. You may have a cough. Take a drink. Ready? One more there. Big deep breath. Hold it, and let it out. And one more. Hold it, and let it out. Good job. Let yourself rest. Now, during this rest, you may feel already that brain kind of wanting to shift back and forth. For some people, you may see a little light moving around under the eyes. There's a lot of activity going on with this one. We've added a bit of pranayama, alternate nose breath. It's a little modified, and cogno. And so it really wakes up the brain. Okay, let's go one more time on the left. Ready? Big deep breath. Hold it, bring it down. Now switch hands. Big deep breath. Hold it, bring it down. Force that breath out. Back to the left. Ready? Hold it, bring it down. Good. Back to the right. Hold it, bring it down. Back to the left. Back to the right. Awesome. Let yourself rest one more time. Good. Just rest. Good. Now, to finish up this part of it, you're going to run your ears, cross your arms over your chest, or if you can't do that, just on each side is fine too. So start at the top, and this is going to be a little aggressive too. It's a real nice ear pull all the way up at the top and massage. All right, now let those eyes drift left and right. Pulling the ear forward just a little bit and massage. If you've been with us before, we don't normally do it this deeply or this aggressively, but we are trying to create fire. And when we do this, we're actually moving energy from the base of our spine to the top of our head. The earlobe actually represents the top of the head along your spinal cord. Good. Big deep breath. Pull those ears forward. Let it out. Go. Switch arms. Just switch them so we have just a little bit of a different crossover. Start at the top one more time. Move those eyes left and right and a deep massage. Give them a nice tug. Let's move that energy up the spine. Eyes moving left and right. Good job. Get in a little deeper into the cartilage of the ear. Find that that has a little bit of a different stimulus. Eyes left, eyes right. Pull those ears forward. Big deep breath. Let it out and just let yourself rest. While you're resting, Bill and I will switch places. We're going to do more work with your spine. All right, Bill, you're up.
All right. Here we go. So one of the interesting things about Cognomovement is that we utilize the spine. Turns out your eyeballs, your brain, and your spinal cord are neurologically one system. So we're going to utilize all of it at the same time to create changes in your brain. This also is going to create some changes in your systems that produce all the chemicals in your body as well. The very first exercise we're going to do is very simple, and that is eyeballs are up. And when I say up, what I mean is rolling them all the way into the skull. So beyond vision. And this is the way it looks. We'll start with the eyes roll up, and as the eyes are up, the head is going to roll forward. And with every exhale, you're going to relax your neck. So it looks like this. We'll have eyes up, and we'll just let the head go over. And we're going to go further and further. There'll become a point where it's relaxed, and then we'll just take breaths, and we'll get it to relax even more. Ready? Eyes up. And your eyes up, the further they go, the easier this gets. You're not even going to stretch. What's going to happen is your body's going to let go. If you've ever seen like gurus, those types, or maybe somebody who was on drugs that rolled their eyes up in their skull, it's really they're letting go of their body. So keep your eyes rolled up, breathe normally, and on the exhale, relax your entire body. Keep your eyes rolled up, breathe with the diaphragm, and when your neck is ready, just relaxing it further. The trick here is your eyeballs. That's what causes the body to relax. Driving them up into the skull. Breathe, and then drive the eyes further as you relax the whole body. The neck will let go even further. Breathe in, drive the eyes up, and on the exhale, relax. Continuing, eyes are driven up, the shoulders round forward, and relaxing on the exhale. Breathe in, drive the eyes up, and going further forward. Notice your shoulders. If there's any tension, drive your eyes up and relax further. Driving again. In breath. And forward. One more. Breathe in. Let the head go over, flopping over. On the exhale, relax the entire body. And now gently and slowly come up, 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 rolling your spine up, all the way up. And then allow your head to continue to go all the way back as you keep your eyes rolled up in your skull, arching your spine all the way back, driving your eyes into your skull, letting them go beyond vision, and letting your neck and spine arch all the way back. Total relaxation. Keep your eyes driven up, and on the in-breath, drive your eyes, and on the out-breath, relax the entire body. You might notice that your eyes go further, and your neck and spine arch further back easily. Breathe in. You can breathe in with your diaphragm and relax on the out breath, driving the eyes further. Notice without any effort, your body begins to relax, your head goes further, your neck relaxes. In with the breath, and out, and relax the entire body. And come up very slowly, very gently. Take a big breath into that belly. And now we begin by going 3/4 of the way back. This is at an angle. You went straight back. We're not going directly over to the side. We're going 3/4 of the way back. You're going to let your head and your spine go 3/4 of the way back. And as you do, you're now going to roll your eyes all the way around. Breathe in with your belly and roll your eyes all the way around. All the way around. You may notice as you're rolling your eyes as far up, as far to the left, as far down, as far to the right as possible, you may notice there's a place that you have a little bit of resistance. You can go to that place and park your eyes there and breathe in and relax your entire body on the out breath. Letting the head go further, letting the spine go further. Driving the eyes to that exact position. And if you're that position, your eyes are now fine there, just continue rolling. You're exercising your brain from both positions. Bring yourself all the way up. And when you get to the top, Breathe in. Ah. And now we're going to go to the opposite. You're going to go to the exact opposite side. You let yourself go 3/4 of the way over, the head go over, relaxing it, and roll your eyes. And as you do, you're going to feel on the out breath, it's very easy to relax. In and out, relax your entire body. Rolling your eyes. Notice if there's a position your eyes don't want to be. And then simply, when you notice that, drive your eyes into the position. Breathe in. Relax the body and drive the eyes. Breathe in. Relax. Drive the eyes. The entire body relaxes from the soles of the feet to the top of the head. Driving your eyes. Notice the increase in relaxation. And if you've relieved that area with the eyes, roll the eyes around the rest of the way. And slowly and gently bring yourself up. Ah. And now, side bend, like a ballerina. You can do it right in your chair. You go all the way over to the side. And as you get all the way over, letting the head flop over, letting the spine flop over all the way, roll your eyes in a big loop. Don't miss any of the areas as you roll your eyes all the way around. And notice as you do, you may find it becomes very easy to let the head go a little further. And then come up. Big breath. Ah. Now we're going to go to the opposite side. Same thing. Roll. Let the head go over. Relax the spine all the way over. And begin rolling your eyes. As you roll your eyes, you find that your body starts letting go. The brain and the eye movement help the rest of the system relax. And vice versa, the relaxation in the spine, in the neck, help your eyes to access new parts of your brain as it lets go. It's all working together. And come up. Ah. And now, with your head forward, straight and level, you can use your Cognomovement ball for those of you who have it, or you can use a pen or your little Cognomovement keychain ball, which is always nice and convenient. Here, you just basically, you're going to take it left to right, 2 hands on, and we're going low. Head is straight forward and level. We made a lot of changes in your brain and your nervous system, so we want to give the rest of the brain a look at all that. We call this mapping it in. Everywhere you look is a different position, every different position in your brain. So we're causing some new connectivity. And breathe in. Ah, beautiful. All right. Notice your neck. You can move your neck left and right. Notice how it feels. Notice how your body feels. For some of you, this may create like a little buzzing in your brain as well, because you've accessed some new areas and created some new connectivity.
All right. Great session, everybody. Really great session. Put in the chat what that was like. We already had some people say, oh my God, my ears are so hot, and all kinds of yawning. So tell us if there are any other experiences that you had during the session. And Leah has a quick message for you.
All right, everybody. So make sure that we're going to do a little bit of Q&A afterwards. So please make sure that you type in your questions and we'll answer them, or any comments while I'm talking, and then we will get to those before we end. So remember to take a big deep breath, because you just did a session. So breathe in and breathe out, and notice what's different, what's the same, and just know that it's not your imagination. Your nervous system is recalibrating, and this is just the beginning. It was just a mini session, just a really tiny piece of Cognomovement. So if anything changed for you, you know that it works. The seasonal reset series starts November 20th. And it's where we take what you felt tonight and build on it through 3 deep sessions designed to help your body and mind and emotions release what's been building this whole season, or the beginning of this season. We'll focus on reigniting your energy and motivation when winter drain hits, navigating relationships and boundaries with more calm and connection and way better reactivity, releasing the emotional and physical weight that makes everything harder. So I want to share something just a little bit personal, because here at Cognomovement, we don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk, and we do our own sessions too. Sometimes it's just a quick 5-minute reset, but sometimes it's the big one, the session we've been avoiding, the one we know that really needs to happen, but we tell ourselves we don't have the time, we don't have the energy, or we just do a little 15-minute session and be like, oh, that's fine, and go about our day. I'm telling you to do your big session. Dive into this class and do the work. We're giving you the tools to shift your entire experience of not only this season, but all the seasons to come. And I promise you, it's so worth it. I just did one of those big sessions myself, the one that I have been putting off, and it was huge. It was not easy, and I didn't realize how much I needed it to happen until it happened. So if you've been doing little bits of Cognomovement here and there, but you know there's something deeper waiting to clear, this is your moment. Join us for the seasonal reset series and let Bill and Liz guide you through those deeper sessions. Use the code Feel Better for 20% off. It's only valid for 48 hours. And we've only set aside a limited number of those those coupon codes for tonight's attendees. So you can grab your spot at cognomovement.com/seasonal reset. And now let's open it up for questions and comments. We would love to hear from you and help you integrate what you experienced tonight.
Okay, so we already have
somebody had some great comment about they had a winter thing. Somebody got over a winter thing before we even started. There was a comment.
Yeah, right before we started, Vanessa, I believe, said that her friend actually cured his fear of winter with Cognomovement.
That's awesome.
Then
So Vanessa, again at the bottom, said she was not able to relax in those positions. So with that, if you're not finding that you're relaxing, it's all about the breath part. So I'll show you, and while we're talking, you can kind of try again. So the other thing is maybe try a little less exaggerated position. So it's a thing we call the active relax. So if you're here and you're trying to create a longer stretch, without the eyes, it looks like this. See how long my shoulder got? It's about noticing the tension and relaxing into it. You kind of melt into your own discomfort. So, right, you just let everything fall away and get long. That's the first thing. So you want to make sure you have the ability to do that. The second piece is pushing the eyes, equal and opposite. So watch. The eyes move up while that part of the body moves down. So if you're not able to get into that position in the back, like rolling back, that's okay. Maybe don't do that. Maybe just let your head go back a little bit and let the front of the body relax. So it would kind of look like, notice how much the front of my chest drops. You're literally dropping into tension and discomfort. Kind of feels amazing when you feel like here's the tension and I can relax into it. And then add the eyes. Once you can do that, let the eyes roll up. And what will happen is the eyes moving up will release these big bands around the eyes, around your orbital bone here. And that will release all the muscles in the head and down the body. So it's a nice way to relieve that pent-up tension. So let me know if that was helpful or if you need a little more.
Jace said, great session. Thank you. Nick said, I'm coughing and almost feel sickish, hot in my head, almost like a fever after the session. What does that mean?
Okay. Well, when we have some pent up energy in the body, these positions can cause it to let go. And when that happens, it can cause heat. You can feel like, oh my gosh, I got a rush of heat. Cognomovement sessions, they're really effective at helping the body to let go of not only trauma, but tension. And there's that rush of energy can really build up. One of Liz's intentions today was to build the fire.
Yeah.
And so sounds like you're feeling it.
But we don't want you to feel sick.
But now,
So
when you say sick is a lot of things. What
sickish.
is
So
sick?
probably a little bit nauseous would be my guess. So
Nausea?
Nick, tell us if it's
Hot in my head, almost like a fever.
And he said he felt sick-ish.
Sick-ish. Hot in my head, almost like a fever.
Okay, is that nausea, Nick?
So let's provide everyone with the remedy.
Little nausea, a little lightheaded.
Yes, that's perfectly normal. Yeah, a little nausea, a little lightheaded. So as we move information back and forth across the hemispheres and all these big nerve energy centers get activated, it can create that little bit of nausea and a little bit of lightheaded. And the heat really is energy moving in the spine. So here's what we want to do, Nick. We want you to feel good. That will pass. All of that feeling will pass. But just a little gentle left and right with a gentler deep breath. And move up the body. It'll soften it all out. It'll help the information just move through a little bit easier. So just a gentle deep breath. and then close your eyes and let yourself rest. You're going to rest until you literally feel like you're going to nod off to sleep. And that will happen. Everything just starts to feel like, oh, I could just put my head on the pillow. And you'll start to feel better very quickly. In Cogno movement, change like that means you did it, you win. You created a neurological change in your body. You created heat, you released energy. So you did the work. I know it feels weird right now, but you'll get the benefits later on.
Within a few minutes, if you simply breathe through your nose just for a few minutes, even as long as it takes us to get through the rest of this, the odds are the system will settle down. We'll check in with you. This is somewhat rare. We hear about this now and again, but it's somewhat rare that somebody has nausea or heat to the point of feeling not good. But anyway, we'll check back with you in a few minutes after we get through the rest of the questions. Just breathe gently and normally through your nose.
Yeah. Luelle says she had released quite a bit of tension, that she hasn't slept well in 3 nights, and now she feels really, really tired. That's a win. So you're going to get some good sleep tonight, Luelle. Yeah, that's great. I also want to say about the little nausea, dizziness, and lightheaded. The nausea and lightheaded is actually normal, but feeling to the point of sick is not normal. However, if you've never had this experience before, released energy in this way, sometimes the brain triggers that it's not right just because we've never experienced it. So getting a nice drink, resting, a light breath through the nose, like Bill said, really does sort it out pretty quickly. But it is the sign that you did the work. You got it done. That was great.
She didn't mean alcohol by a nice drink.
No.
For some of us, a nice
water.
drink.
I meant water.
There's a whole different meaning of nice drink.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Any other questions or comments before we go? I hope you can see how quickly you can build heat in the body and create change. I mean, these were 2 little 10-minute sessions. If you did either of them on their own, separated them, you could still create movement and energy in the body. It doesn't have to take 20 minutes. It can take 5 minutes. But if you can take these tools and use them throughout your week to create extra light, extra heat, move energy in the body, you can avoid the winter blues altogether and actually create a state in your body where you're creating more, doing more, being more than you ever dreamt you could be, even in summertime. So it's super beneficial to get this going every day during this season for sure.
All right. I think that is it for our questions. Thank you all so much for sharing questions and your experiences that you had tonight. Before we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this. Whatever you're feeling right now, lighter, softer, calmer, hold on to it. You created that shift and your body did that. And there are going to be things that are going to happen afterwards while you still integrate. The seasonal reset series is where we keep the momentum going together. 3 sessions live with Liz and Bill, real guidance, real change. If tonight resonated with you, use the code FEELBETTER for 20% off. But remember, it's only active for 48 hours and there are a limited number of discounted spots. So register at cognomovement.com/seasonal reset. And since tonight was free, there is absolutely no pressure. But if what you experienced helped you, please share it. Tell your friends, your family, anyone who might be struggling this season. You never know whose life might impact by introducing them to this. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this work. And we'll see you in the seasonal reset series. Take care, everyone.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have
Bye.
a beautiful night. Bye.